You have walked through mazes of the mind-long corridors of confusion, places where the light seemed far and the turns endless. And in those hours when your feet grew weary and your spirit dimmed, you wondered, will I ever emerge from this? Will I ever find clarity again? But hear this, the labyrinth is not your prison. The labyrinth is your teacher. It was built not to trap you, but to reveal you, to strip away illusions and awaken the strength you forgot was yours. The ancient Greeks knew this well. They spoke of Theseus and the Minotaur, but the true battle was never just the beast. It was the fear, the doubt, the silence that echoed louder than the roars within the walls of the unknown. Your fears are the walls, your regrets, the shadows, your doubts, the twisting turns. But in your hand, you carry the golden thread, the thread of reason, the thread of virtue, the thread of remembrance. That you are not lost, you are learning. Socrates said, "Know thyself." And in the labyrinth you begin to know not just your strength, but your softness, not just your certainty, but your longing, not just your wisdom, but your wounds. You begin to see that you were never truly broken, only buried under the debris of expectation, of noise, of the world's false definitions of success and worth. And with each step you take, with each quiet breath, with each moment, you choose not to run, but to stay and feel and face. You walk deeper into your truth. You begin to reclaim the map, not one drawn on paper, but carved in the heart. You begin to understand that light is not always found. It is generated, that peace is not always given. It is chosen, that freedom is not always granted. It is earned from within. Aristotle taught that excellence is not an act, but a habit. And in the labyrinth, every choice, every turn, every pause becomes the practice of becoming excellent, not in appearance, but in soul. You do not need to run faster. You need to walk wiser. You do not need to see the end. You need to trust the next step. And with each step, you lay down the thread of awareness that will guide you back when you return to help others through. For you will return, not as one who was trapped, but as one who triumphed, not as one who escaped, but as one who awakened, not as one who broke, but as one who was remade in truth. And when you finally emerge, when you see the open sky, when you feel the wind again, you will not forget the darkness. You will carry it with grace, not as shame, but as strength, because the light you sought was not outside, not at the center of the maze, not in the slaying of monsters. It was in the act of walking through, in the will to keep going, in the refusal to abandon yourself. This is your journey, and you are not alone. Every philosopher, every warrior, every soul who dared to know themselves walked this same winding path, and now they walk with you, not ahead, not behind, but beside, whispering, keep going, you are closer than you think. And when the next labyrinth comes, and you will not fear it, you will welcome it, because now you know it is not the darkness that defines you, it is the fire you carry within it. In a world that rushes, in a life that demands, in a mind that races and echoes and repeats, it is the stillness that saves. It is the silence that restores. It is the quiet space between the noise, where truth is born, where courage is fed, where the soul breathes again. You are not weak for wanting peace. You are wise for seeking it. For the ancient Greeks understood this deeply, that the outer storm is not your greatest enemy. It is the inner chaos, the undisciplined mind, the restless soul that steals your strength before the battle begins. Epictetus taught that it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. And in stillness, you begin to see that truth. You begin to separate what is from what you fear, from what you assume, from what you carry, that was never yours to hold. In stillness the fog clears. In stillness, your feet find ground again. In stillness, the war within begins to quiet, and from this place you rise, not with noise, but with presence, not with panic, but with purpose. The Stoics called it ataraxia, tranquility, unshaken calm, not because nothing moves, but because you are anchored. You have become the mountain, not the mist, the flame, not the smoke. And to reach this place, to arrive at this calm, you do not need more. You need less distraction, less consumption, less of the need to always be something, always do something, always prove something. You are already enough. You are already whole. And in the stillness, you remember this. You feel it, not as a thought, but as a knowing that does not tremble. Even when the world does, Plato spoke of the soul's longing for order, for harmony. And what is stillness but the music of your inner universe, tuning itself again? After the dissonance of fear, you sit in silence, and suddenly you hear the whispers of your own wisdom. You feel the echo of ancient strength flowing through you, like a river that never truly ran dry, only waited for you to be still enough to notice. And from this stillness, you act differently. You speak with intention. You move with grace. You choose with clarity. Because now, your choices are not reactions. They are creations born from your center, not your chaos. You do not run from stillness. You walk into it like a temple, like a sacred home, where your soul lights the lantern and your spirit remembers what it means to simply be. For you are not lost. You are listening. You are not stuck. You are centering. And in this sacred quiet, you are not waiting for life to begin. You are aligning with it. The strength you seek is here. The answers you crave are within. And the courage to face all storms comes not from the noise of the crowd, but from the stillness of your heart. So return, often return, daily return to the silence, not to escape life, but to enter it more fully. And when the world demands and pushes and shouts, you will not be shaken. You will simply breathe and smile and step forward, anchored and free, because stillness is not the absence of motion, it is the mastery of it. If you felt inspired by our journey through the Hellenic horizons, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.